Hey everyone, it's Nate here with Element Van Life. So I've just been hanging out in New Orleans, guys. I got back here a little less than a week ago now, and I've been able to kind of explore just a little bit, but haven't really had a whole lot of time to be exploring. I was hanging out with some friends and catching up with friends, and then on Monday I had that job interview that I had mentioned in a previous video. The interview ended up going really well, guys. On Tuesday I was offered the position, and Wednesday I started the position, so I haven't really had a lot of time to do much else. I've been working full-time Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, just getting set up in the new job and all that. So far, I really like the job, guys. It's like a IT type position, so I'm going to be working a lot with like hardware on servers and computers and things like that, and then also doing a little bit of web development and web design as well, and then also doing some customer service and things like that. It's going to be kind of a very unique position. Seems like it's going to be challenging, and I'm really looking forward to it. So far, the first week has been great. I've enjoyed working with the folks that I've been working with, and it's been good so far. So I'm gonna, who knows? Obviously, things change over time and all that once you start getting into something. But so far, so good. Knock on wood. So that's how I've been doing with that, and like I said, I haven't really had a whole lot of time to be doing much else, unfortunately, but wanted to give you guys an update and let you know how I was doing with that. I've been exploring the Bayou St John area a little bit this afternoon. It's a nice little park area. I had a little bit of time off because we got off a little bit early from work because it's a Friday and it's Voodoo Fest and all that, so things are kind of shutting down a little early on a Friday here in New Orleans, as they typically do. So it's been nice. I kind of just walked around and explored the Bayou area and was just kind of relaxing. And then I'm going over to hang out with some friends tonight and all that. But just wanted to give you guys a quick update, let y'all know what I was doing and how things have been so far here in New Orleans. So far, guys, I really haven't had too many issues with like blending in and finding parking and things like that in the city. I spent about 5 weeks here back earlier this year, so I kind of know where to go and that sort of thing. I kind of just park on the side of the road and I'm able to blend in. The hardest thing, I think I've mentioned this before, is just finding a flat surface to park on, just because the roads are all screwed up, so everywhere you go it's all over the place, so you kind of have to try to find a level spot, and that's a challenge. But other than that, it's been pretty good. I do have an interesting story though. On Thursday morning I woke up and I just kind of was going along my daily routine, getting ready for work, that kind of thing, and brushing my teeth, and I ate breakfast and then brushed my teeth and got ready to go. And I noticed while I was eating breakfast that the Element was shaking a little bit, and at the time a train was driving by, was going by on a nearby railroad track, so I was like, oh, it must just be a train or something like that was causing the shaking. But then I heard some ruffling and then somebody putting something underneath my windshield wiper like they do with like a ticket or something like that. So I was like, oh great, did I get a ticket or something? What could have happened? Or maybe somebody was just putting a note under there, or maybe it was someone trying to market something and they were just going along and putting, I don't know. So I ended up checking it out after the person left and it was all clear, and it ended up being a parking boot on my wheel. That was what the shaking was, and then a $300 ticket on my window. So I was kind of freaking out. This was like 10 minutes before my second day on a new job. I'm like, oh man, what could go wrong? What more could go wrong? So I was not too happy about it, and I didn't know if maybe they noticed that I was sleeping in the vehicle and were somehow trying to penalize me for sleeping in the vehicle or something like that, or whatever it was. So there was a number to call, guys. I ended up calling that number and talking to a customer service person with the city of New Orleans, and they told me that I had an outstanding ticket from November of 2015 on my GMC Terrain or something like that, some sort of GMC SUV. Two things though. For one, I wasn't even living in New Orleans in November of 2015, and for two, I've never owned a GMC SUV in my life. So there was a big mistake with the system. They ended up having me call another person, and I spent the whole morning trying to get in touch with this next line, but it was very busy, high call volume or something like that. So I finally got in touch with them. They had me drive down to City Hall. This is how things work in New Orleans for anybody who's not from around here. This is the craziness that happens, and this is like a day-to-day thing for anybody who lives here, but any local New Orleanian will understand what I'm talking about. But so I go down to City Hall. I ended up showing them a copy of my registration showing that I own a Honda and not a GMC. I went through all these meetings and stuff like that, a couple of different meetings. It didn't take that long. It wasn't that bad, but you know, it ended up getting resolved. They called, got the boot removed. By the end of the day, it was gone. But it was just the craziest thing, guys. And I don't know what the crazier thing is about it. If it was just the mistake that the system made or whatever it was, or the mistake that the city made. I kind of expect that, like I said, from New Orleans. That's just something that happens all the time around here, like crazy things like that. Very, very common. Issues with police and the whole, all that. But I think that what was more surprising from that whole thing, that whole endeavor, was that when that person, whoever it was putting a boot on my vehicle, lifting the vehicle up, putting the boot on, moving it or whatever you have to do to get it on there, and then also putting a big old sticker on my window and putting something underneath my windshield, they never noticed. This police officer who did this never noticed that there was somebody in the vehicle sleeping. Or again, at the time I was eating breakfast, but I was in the car, like doing my normal thing, and I don't even think they noticed at all. So it's pretty funny. I mean, I guess there's a chance that it could have been something else and it wasn't related, but the fact that they found an old ticket and that it was a mistake leads me to think that the police officer, whoever it was, the citation officer, didn't even notice that there was somebody in the car. So I think that's pretty cool, because it speaks volumes to how stealthy the element really is, that you can have somebody right outside moving it around, and I'm in here moving around, eating breakfast, making a bowl of cereal, and nobody even noticed. So it was pretty cool. I wanted to share that story with you guys and let you all know that it was kind of crazy. I'm glad that it worked out and I didn't have to pay that $300 fine, and luckily my boss was understanding, even though it was my second day, that I had to go in the middle of the day and spend a couple hours going down to City Hall and getting everything taken care of. But it all worked out and it's been good to go. So it is Friday afternoon, guys. Now it's getting to the evening. Like I said, I got some plans with friends, so I'm gonna go catch up with them and then kind of just try to enjoy the weekend. This is Halloween weekend here in New Orleans, so it should be a pretty crazy weekend. I'm gonna make another video and try to show as much as I can and release it at some point next week, so you guys can see how my first full weekend in New Orleans was and how things were going. But thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below, or head over to my most recent Tuesday Q&A video and I'll answer them in person in my next one, which will be this upcoming Tuesday. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.